The 25th Hour Radio Show. I want to thank everyone for tuning in today to the 25th Hour Radio Show here on Monster Radio, AM 1150. I am your host, Rob Fairless, and on the phone with me today is Howard Bailey Jr., but he might be best known as the multi-platinum recording artist, Chingy. What's up, Chingy, man? Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day to join me on the show.
Oh, man, how you doing, man? I appreciate you guys having me on. It's a pleasure. And I'm doing great today, man. Just enjoying the day, man. You know, another day, another dollar, they say.
All right. So let's just start from the very beginning. In a time before you were internationally known. Tell me about that time, man. What first inspired you to get into music?
Well, actually, the time before I was Chingy, in the beginning, when I was like, I want to say probably 6, 7 years old, what initially got me to want to do music and entertain, period, I have to dedicate that to Michael Jackson, may he rest in peace, because Michael Jackson was a great entertainer, and so I knew when I saw him at an early age, I wanted to do something that had to do with entertaining because he was great at that. Now, as far as the rap side of things, my artistry, as far as the ability to rhyme, I, Run DMC, Eazy-E, LL Cool J, Grandmaster Flash, a lot of the creators of this whole hip hop genre is Jermaine Dupri, is what DJ Quick, Ice Cube is what made me want to go that way as far as my talent of being able to rhyme and stuff. So they kind of inspired that. And from there, I started writing my own music in like 88, 87. Mm-hmm. I was literally like 8 years old. And so I got in the studio when I was around 10, which was 90, and I started making my own records, and when I say making my own records, I mean making my own records from coming up with samples to how I wanted to be, and then writing the lyrics and everything. And so that's pretty much what inspired me. The DJ Quick, Eazy-E, LL Cool J, Michael Jackson. So that's pretty much what inspired me to do what I'm doing.
So, man, from that point, how did you get your foot in the door to the music industry? I mean, in your perspective, what was your big break moment? You know, that moment that started the whole snowball effect that led you to the top of the charts.
What got my foot through the door? Actually, in 2002, I teamed up with two friends of mine, Alonzo Lee and Shamar Doherty, which are the producers, the track stars who produced my first and second album. And we were working on my first album, Jackpot, and coming up with records. And we decided to put a 6-song CD together and send it off to some major record labels. And just so happened, Chaka Zulu, which is Ludacris' manager and part business manager, owner, he hit us back and told Zoe to tell me to finish the song right there, because initially it was the first verse and the hook was just on it. And this is 2002. Now, keep in mind, I wrote right there when I was 16 years old. Mm-hmm. We're talking about 2002. And so the song was old, actually. Which in my eyes it was old, but the person that's never heard it, of course, it's not old. But so I eventually finished that record, and then we got it printed up on vinyl. Pretty much history from there. And this is 2003, September to about November. I had my record deal December 14th, 2002. 2003, right there was the number one record in the country.
So, man, this is a question I ask a lot of musicians that come on my show. It's just a fun question, man. Mm-hmm. People seem to always remember this. Do you remember where you were the first time you ever heard your music played on the radio? I mean, that's always a big moment in time for a becoming artist.
You know what? Actually, do I remember where I was when I first heard myself play on the radio?
That's right.
I don't remember remember exactly where I was at. I really don't.
Oh, what? Really?
Now, I remember when I was with a group in '95, and we put out a local CD. We were called Without One, and we put out a song called "Popping Off." I remember being in the car when we first heard that record on the radio. But right there, I don't remember where I was when I first heard Right There. I can't lie.
But still, when What's Poppin' Off come on the radio, that had to be such a big deal. Even though that was just kind of locally, right, in the St. Louis area, that had to be a big deal for you. I mean, anybody who...
It was a huge deal for me because, you hear your song on the radio, and at this time, I'm trying to make it in this business. And so that was a huge deal knowing that a broader community of people was hearing my record, And so it was a great thing. Great.
So, man, was it tough on you to adjust to the whirlwind of success you were caught up in? I mean, the constant performances, personal appearances, touring schedule, interviews like this. I mean, did it take some getting used to handle all that? I mean, did you have the personality of like, yeah, man, this is me, bring it?
Well, I think when you have a passion and you're compassionate and love something, I don't look at it as being tough. I look at it as being just, it was a job to me, a job that I felt if I wanted to have success, it's things that I need to do and that I have to do. And so being that came with the job, traveling, people think sometimes you get sick of pictures and autographs. I'm very appreciative of that because when you need to worry is when they don't want pictures and autographs. That's when you say, what's going on? But other than that, man, nothing really ever bothered me, man. It's just you got to put in the work to become successful. That's just what I did. I've been putting in the work since I was a little kid. And so when I made it, quote unquote, professionally, that was just an extension of me already going through my trials and tribulations and paying my dues. I didn't feel like, this was overnight or anything. I felt like it was due. It was time for it to happen. So, it's never really a problem with me, man. I like to work. I like performing for the people. I like making music for the people that appreciate it. So, I'm only human, so I'm gonna get tired. I'm gonna get stressed. I'm gonna get wore out sometimes, but this is what I do, and so I don't mind doing it. When you love what you do, you don't care what you have to go through. When you love what you do, it should be fun, and so it's fun to me.
Man, in my opinion, a true entertainer is someone who can do just a little bit of everything. And you're someone who I would consider as a true entertainer because not only have you achieved success as a performer, but you've also got into the acting just a little bit, man. Other than, like a music video or something like that, man, what was your first gig as an actor?
My first gig as an actor actually was the George Lopez show. I did the George Lopez show in 2004, and that happened because I forgot the young lady's name that plays his daughter on the show. She's a fan of mine, and she wanted me on the show. And so they basically had to write me in to one of the episodes. And so that was my first, big appearance, for the TV show with George Lopez on his show.
So that's kind of a different situation than being on stage with those type of cameras pointing at you when you were doing the acting there on that. Were you nervous in any way?
Well, you have to understand something. I wasn't necessarily frightened by the camera because I've been in front of the cameras, doing videos. But also, with acting, it's dialogue. So you got to be familiar with dialogue. And I'm familiar with rapping in front of the camera, and somewhat that's kind of still dialogue. But acting could be a little different because you have to go into certain different characters. I'm just being fun, Chingy when I'm doing my music. It could be a little different, but in the same aspect, it's kind of the same as just doing a video as well. You just got dialogue instead of rapping along with a song.
So many rappers have become, great actors. Wonder what the correlation there is. It seems like it's just natural. It's just something, I don't know, is it the hustle, I guess, coming up? I mean, the street smarts? What is it, do you think?
About rappers becoming actors?
Yeah, man, it seems like there's a lot of rappers out there who become very successful actors. You know what I mean?
You know what? I think it is with rappers becoming actors. I think it has to do with venturing off into something else that you probably didn't know you were that passionate about. Then you get into it and you find out you have a knack for it. You know what I mean? And in this business, that's how the transition goes. You know what I mean? you're a successful artist in music, and then the acting world and the music world, or two worlds combined. To be honest, they all go together, because when you make videos and you see that if it's a storyline, you see people acting in the video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's just something that people transition into, that they familiarize themselves with more and more as they do music and videos. Maybe like, oh, you know what? Let me try to audition for this movie and this part and see if I can. And then they just go.
Now, once you got on camera, did you kind of dig into the art a little bit more to help you land more roles as you went on, or like you said, was it just natural?
No, I think with me, I think it was more or less my image and style and character that people was attracted to, that made them want to associate me with their project, the TV show or movie. So, when you're a writer and producers, and they have scripts, for certain actors or certain parts for people, I might fit the part to them, so they'll reach out and see if I want to be a part of their project.
So what's on your plate right now, man? You got any projects you're working on, or any upcoming projects you're working on?
On my plate right now, I have a new project I'm working on. It's called Dead Rose. And if you ever seen a dead rose, a dead rose is still beautiful even when it's dead. Mm-hmm. It still looks great. And it kind of, and throughout the years of my life in this business and just personal period, I felt like that's kind of how my life feels, like a dead rose. Even when you're down, it's still beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's why I named it Dead Rose. And actually, it was inspired by my girlfriend. She inspired it because she rides around with a dead rose on her dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was in the car with her one day and just was looking at that, and it's really artistic. And so I was just like, that's really neat, because the dead rose just looks beautiful up there. And so then, and she got a lot of dead roses in her place. So she kind of inspired my project. But it's stages. If a plant goes through different stages, just like us as humans go through different stages in life. And so I just combined the two. But I'm working on that. I have a reality show, Business with the Baileys, that I'm still trying to get off the ground. Traveling. I just came back from Australia. Always on the road.
Mm-hmm.
About to go to Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand in about a month. So just working and performing.
I don't know if people know this or not, but you mentioned the Australian tour or whatever. Man, you got a huge following there.
Alone in Australia, I've sold over 4 million records. More than that now, alone in Australia. So yeah, I've always had a great following in Australia. Beautiful people, I appreciate them. But everybody can follow me on my social networks at Chingy Full Dekk, FULLDEKK. At Chingy Full Dekk. Make sure they know that. And yeah, man, I'm just working, man. The new project, like I said, Dead Rose, is coming soon. Just working, man, and just appreciating living every day, man,
Yeah, man, I know what you mean. I just got a couple more questions for you here. I do want to get your thoughts on this right here, though. Talking about how the world has changed, especially since your debut album, Jackpot, was released in 2003. Back then it was CDs. That's the only way you could listen to someone's music. You had to purchase something like a physical copy of something. You had to purchase a CD or something like that to listen to your music. Nowadays, it seems like everything is digital download, though. Vinyl seems to be somewhat trying to make a comeback anyway. Do you prefer the new way music is distributed to the world, or are you indifferent towards it?
You know what, I'm going to say this. Do I prefer the new way music is distributed? Everybody has a cell phone. So I think with technology, it's just you have at hand, everything is at hand in your phone. So what is the use? Not that I love vinyl. Vinyl is beautiful, it sounds beautiful, but what is the use for a record when you have your phone and you have MP3s and ways that you could play this on your phone? What is the use for me to go to a store and get a big vinyl when I got my little hand phone and I can play everything and do everything I need through this phone? Well, I think it's just been made a little easier on the day-to-day with the apps and the phone, I'm gonna keep it real with you. My life is in my phone. I have everything in my phone. I'm pretty sure you got a lot of stuff
I know
in your phone too.
when you leave it at home or something. Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh,
you go crazy. You go crazy. So I think things have been simplified for us and made a little easy for us in that way, to where it's easy to share stuff now. It's easy to connect with people, which is a good thing. I think that's a good thing. I think sometimes you change with the ebb and flow of things. You know what I mean? And so I think it's pretty cool. I know we all would like to stay the way things were with CDs and with vinyl. We all like to have this mindset like we want to just stay there where it's at. But things progress, and as they progress, some things can get a little easier for you, depending on how you make it. But I think it's beautiful. You know what I mean? I think we need that. I think it's a part of evolving.
So what about Howard Bailey Jr. when he's not Chingy, man? You know what I mean? Outside the entertainment world, what do you do to pass the time? I know you're a little more muscular than you were in the What's Popping Off days, right? You must hit the gym a lot.
What about Howard Bailey Jr. when I'm not Chingy? I sit in club lounges and smoke cigars. No, I'm messing with you.
Okay.
I'm in one right now, actually, with a friend. I'm just hanging out and chatting. But no, on a day-to-day, man, I like to record. I like being in the studio, creating new music. That's just something I love to do. I like to go to the movies. I like to go bowling. I was in a bowling league a couple of years ago, and we actually came in third place. No, man, but I just like, I like to have fun, man. Just like I said, I love my career. I love what I do. So I was recording early this morning when I got up. Like, one of the first things I did as soon as I got up and got out the shower and put clothes, went right into the room and laid this verse down for the song before I started my day. So I just love music. And I like to read, study, man. A lot of people don't know that I went to school online, and I got a degree in astrology and numerology and cosmology. I studied the metaphysics of thought and religion. And so, man, a lot of different things I love to do.
To be in such good shape like you are, with the proper nutrition and stuff like that, do you consider yourself a chef on the down low? I mean, do you have a signature dish that you bring to family get-togethers or anything like that?
Do I consider myself a chef? No, in no way. My girlfriend,
she's the cook,
chef.
huh?
She knows to cook. Me, more or less, man. I know how to eat clean. I'm vegan, and so I just watch what I try to watch what I eat. So only thing I'm gonna bring to a Thanksgiving event or something is some knowledge on, what to eat and how to stay clean. I can't bring a meal because unless you just want me to warm something up in a microwave.
Or bring something that your girlfriend cooked and say you cooked it. I've done that with my wife's cooking.
Right.
Before. There we go. So, man, one more time before we get off here. As far as social media and website or anything like that, where can people find you hanging out more
on? Hit me up on Instagram at Chingy for Dekk, FULLDEKK. Hit me up. It's the same on Twitter as well, same on Facebook. My website is chingyjackpot.com. So pretty much, and you can hit me up on my Superphone. Actually, I have a phone where I give out my number and allow the fans to text me. 404-334-5845. That's my Superphone number where people could, just hit me up. They want to chat. They want to book me, anything. So 404-334-5845.
The Superphone thing, that's new, right? Because I haven't dealt with anyone but you who's had this Superphone, or if it's not new, I haven't come across it yet.
Well, it's something Ryan Leslie, the artist singer, came up with, to keep in contact with the fans. The fans can have a more personal relationship with the artist of choice who they like. And so I think it was a brilliant idea. So I got in on it, and it's a good way for the fans to communicate with the artist, man. These days everybody texts and everything. So hey, why not get a chance? Hit your favorite artist up.
Yeah, so, man, it's really cool.
I think it's cool.
I like it, man. So I always let the guests themselves basically help me segue into closing out the show, man, by giving them an opportunity to say something to their fans, family, anyone who might be listening who has supported them throughout the years. So before we wrap this up, man, is there anything you would like to say to your fans listening to the show right now?
What I would like to say to my fans listening to the show, I want to say I love each and every fan of Chingy, from who's been down with Chingy from day one. I appreciate your support, from the bottom of my heart, and continue to support me. It's a difficult process, especially when you're an independent artist, and I'm an independent artist now. So I need the support more than ever because I'm doing a lot of the things myself, and so I need that support. And so I want to thank them. And for as upcoming artists who may want to be a star one day or celebrity, all I can say is I'm living proof it can happen. Just stick with your craft, stay positive, keep positive people around you, think positive, and project that positivity out into the universe, and it will manifest. So just keep doing what you do and be great.
Well, Howard, Chingy, thank you so much, man, for sharing a few minutes out of your life with me on the show today. I'll always remember this, and take care of yourself.
No problem.
The 25th Hour Radio Show.